And then it was trying to cat it up.
Everybody, can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you.
Was that my cue?
Whenever you're ready.
2 seconds. That girl's not here?
She is not. She had a medical issue come up that she had to take care of.
Oh, okay. All right, let's call to order. GOED meeting scheduled for today, February 5th, 2026, time being 2 p.m. And we'll start with the roll call.
Thank you. Governor Melanie Sheldon for the record. Governor Joe Lombardo,
Here.
Lieutenant Governor Stavros Anthony.
Here.
Thank you. Secretary of State Aguilar sends his apologies. Dr. Weldon Havens.
Here.
Thank you. Ms. Sasha Stevenson.
Present.
Thank you. Mr. Jay Barrett also sends his apologies. Ms. Yolanda King.
Present.
Thank you. Ms. Deborah Jacobs cannot attend today. And Ms. Debbie Sarden.
Here.
Thank you, Governor. We have a quorum. Non-voting members. Mr. Matt McNair cannot attend today. Mr. Chris Sewell.
Here.
Thank you. Dr. Victor Wakefield.
Here.
Thank you. Dr. Christopher Sanchez may be a little bit late, and Mr. Tom Burns.
Present.
Thank you.
Are you going to say we have a quorum?
Governor, we have a quorum.
There you go. All right, we'll move on to the first opportunity for public comment. Persons wishing to provide public comment remotely may access the meeting by telephone or through the Teams link posted on the agenda. Please limit comments to 3 minutes. And we no longer have to read the phone number for the last session. Do we have anybody there in Carson City wishing to make public comment?
No, Governor, no comment.
All right, do we have anybody here in Las Vegas? Sonny, you want to talk? You okay? Yes. All right. All right, do we have anybody online or on the phone?
We do not, Governor.
Okay. All right, we'll close public comment, move on to agenda item number 3 for possible action, approval of the November 10th, 2025 board meeting minutes. Do we have any questions or concern on the previous minutes? Sasha?
Nope.
Anything?
I do that.
You want to make a motion?
I'd move to adopt approval of the minutes.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Excuse
go
me.
ahead.
I do have one correction, please. Just for future reference, it's Pahrump Valley Chamber of Commerce. That's it. Short and sweet.
Thank you, Jenny, and Governor, I will make that correction.
All right, if there are
Thank
no
you.
further concerns, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I move to approve the minutes.
Haven, second. All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I didn't hear you, Ms. Sarden. Did you say aye?
I did. Aye.
There you go. All right, motion passes. I heard everybody else ask for a minute. Okay, let's move on to agenda item number 4 for possible action, abatement applications for board approval. We'll kick it off with 4A, Amperesand Incorporated, sales tax abatement, modified business tax abatement, personal property tax abatement.
Governor, Ampersand is up in northern Nevada, and today will be Tom Burns for the record. I apologize. We would be represented by Amanda Berry Jones from EDON. You up there?
I think the mic
doesn't
you might want to.
There we go.
Oh, there it is.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah,
I think it's the mic.
Move.
Want to move?
You want
Move over.
Yeah, I'll go over here. It's still better. It'll go according to plan if you move over here. All right. Okay, can you hear us? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. All right, I'll start over. Good afternoon, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Secretary of State, Director Burns, and board members. For the record, I'm Amanda Berry Jones, Director of Business Development for EDON. Today, I'm here representing a new company abatement application for Amperesand, Inc. Amperesand plans to establish a manufacturing and innovation facility in Reno dedicated to the development and production of advanced solid-state transformers, or SSTs. The facility will integrate research and development, on-site testing and validation, and the manufacturing of key power stage components, enabling high-quality production, improved system integration, and greater control over proprietary technology. Workforce development is central to Amperesand's long-term commitment to Nevada. The company partners with UNLV and UNR through career fairs, internships, and workforce engagement, as well as collaborates with TMCC and WNC to support vocational and technical training. These partnerships help build a strong, sustainable pipeline in Northern Nevada. The company plans continued hiring and capital investment in the region, reinforcing its commitment to high-quality job creation, sustainability, and responsible community engagement through an environmentally responsible production facility. With EDON's full support, Amperesand is requesting a sales and use tax abatement, modified business tax abatement, and personal property tax abatement, and qualify for 3 out of the 3 abatement criteria. Amperesand plans to invest over $18 million in capital and hire 62 highly skilled employees within the first 2 years of operations at an average wage of $55.50 per hour. Ms. Maria Martinez Enriquez, Director for New Product Introduction, is joining me in person today to add background and to answer any questions that you may have. Other team members from the company may have also joined us virtually. Maria?
Good afternoon, Governor, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. Amperesand is developing what we know will be the next generation of solid-state transformers. This product is designed to modernize the electric grid through cleaner, more efficient, and more sustainable technology. Building on the information already shared by Amanda, I want to highlight that our Reno facility enables complete product lifecycle execution. That's going to include development, that's going to include design, validation, and manufacturing of our own product. This approach allows us to keep intellectual property and know-how in Nevada, and will help us anchor high-skill, longer-term jobs in the region. Over the next 2 to 5 years, we plan to scale up productions approximately 500 megawatts of solid-state transformer capacity. The requested abatements is a very meaningful factor for our company's long-term plan to establish all of these operations in the region. We began operations in Nevada intentionally. Nevada's location and infrastructure allows Amperesand to serve national markets efficiently. Nevada offers engineering and technical talent, and it has a policy environment that is supportive of advanced manufacturing. As part of our long-term commitment to support Nevada's economic growth, we have also started relationships with local educational institutions, as well as procurement processes with our local suppliers. Our solid-state transformer technology follows an environmentally integrated design. It does not require any water input for the manufacturing process. It does not generate any kind of water waste or any other kind of industrial waste to achieve its high efficiency. The facility represents the foundation of our U.S. operations, and we believe that Nevada is the right place to do this. So thank you again for the time and consideration, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right, do you have any members have any questions of Ms. Martinez?
Governor,
Go ahead, Sasha.
Sasha Stevenson for the record. I see in the overview a 70% coverage of health insurance, but in your letter, it said you would get to 100% for a basic plan. In what time frame do you expect or anticipate to have to get up to that 100% of the basic health plan?
Yeah, that's for every employee that joins first day on their onboarding process, they get 100% of the insurance.
Thank you.
Victor Wakefield. For the record, can you just say a little bit about the educational institution partnerships that you're pursuing?
Could you come again?
Can you share a little bit more about the regional educational institutions you're partnering with?
Yeah, sure. Actually, this week we had a first conversations with the University of Nevada. We want to establish an internship, STEM internship program with them. We're also in conversations with TMCC. We're already posting our jobs through their job webpage, Handshake. That's right now, that's going to be the main programs that we have. We're planning to participate in the FAIR Career next week, February 12th, on the University of Nevada. And there's another one in April 29 for TMCC.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Just there are no more questions. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Yolanda King, I'll move for approval.
If you have a second.
Sasha Stevenson, second.
Motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Dr. Haven, did you? No, aye. You said aye? Yes. All right, any nays? Hearing none, motion passes. Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, at this time, we'll move on to agenda item 4B, Comstock Metals LLC, sales tax abatement, modified business tax abatement, and personal property tax abatement, real property for recycling tax abatement.
Tom Burns for the record, Governor and board members, Comstock Metals is applying for a new location in Lyon County. They are represented here today by NNDA and Hayden Poignet.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Secretary of State, and board members. For the record, my name is Hayden Poignet, and I serve as Business Development Coordinator for Northern Nevada Development Authority. Thank you for considering the abatement application for Comstock Metals LLC. Comstock Metals is establishing a full-service solar recycling operation in Lyon County. This facility will employ 43 full-time staff members with an average wage of $41.51 and a capital investment of almost $12 million. Comstock Metals is seeking a sales and use tax abatement, a modified business tax abatement, a personal property tax abatement, and a real property tax abatement for recycling. NNDA fully supports this application and respectfully requests the board's approval. Joining me today is Judd with Comstock Metals, who will provide any additional details about the company and answer any questions the board may have. Thank you for your time.
So yeah, and thank you and for allowing us to be here. My name is Judd Merrill. I'm the CFO for Comstock Metals. We have developed a process for recycling solar panels. There's been over 1.2 billion solar panels deployed in the US. And these things were thought to have a 20 to 25 year life. These things are lasting anywhere from 15 to 17, 18 years. And so we've developed a process that takes the full solar panel and recycles 100% of it. We've been testing this process out here in Northern Nevada for the last 2 years in a pilot operation in Silver Springs, Nevada. And we have developed this process. One of the hardest things about recycling solar panels is that solar panels have a laminate and glues on them, and they're very hard to remove. And so the solar panels come in all shapes and sizes, but a lot of them have aluminum casings. That's the easy piece to recycle. But what do you do with the glass if it has these metals attached to it? And what do you do with the other metals that are in solar panels? Solar panels are very rich in silver, and we're able to cleanly remove those laminates, plastics, and glues from the metals to allow us to recycle them. In fact, the industry is starting to wake up. This industry didn't exist, 4 or 5 years ago, but now these solar panels are coming offline. By 2030, there will be over 1 million tons of solar panels that need to be recycled on an annual basis. And there's not a really good solution. The solution that has been used is to put them in the landfills. So companies and utilities came out and looked at our process. We were certified by a group called R2V3. They're an independent recycling agency. They came out and audited our process and certified that we're 100% recyclable. That means everything that goes into the process comes out as a material that can be sold and reused. There's no waste. We don't use chemicals and we don't use water in our process. There's no waste. It's 100% recycled material. The material that we recycled that comes out is aluminum, which we sell, glass beads, which we sell, and then a granular material that's rich in silver and other metals such as iridium, iridium, tellurium, other metals that you might find in solar panels. We've been proving this process out for 2 years. We're looking to build, we've acquired a property in Silver Springs. We're ready to start hiring and bringing those jobs on. And we've already started the process of ordering the equipment, and we'll have that plant up and running in the next 2 quarters.
I'm sorry, Mr. Merrill, what would you say the timeline was?
In the next 2 quarters, the property has been acquired in Silver Springs, and the equipment has been ordered, and we'll start receiving that in the next few weeks. And that we should have the plant up and running by the end of the second quarter of this year.
Sounds a robust time schedule. Hopefully you can meet it. So, any other questions of Mr. Merrill from Comstock? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval. Yolanda.
Wanda King, I'll move for approval.
Sasha Stevens, I'll second.
We have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any against, nay? Hearing none, motion passed. Congratulations. Welcome aboard, Mr. Merrill.
Thank you.
All right. On to agenda item 4C. And that is Future Farm Manufacturing LLC, sales tax abatement, modified business tax abatement, and personal property tax abatement.
Tom Burns for the record. Future Form Manufacturing LLC is looking for an expansion in Washoe County and is represented today by Edon and Veronica Chavez.
Hi, good afternoon, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Secretary of State, Director Burns, and board members. For the record, I am Veronica Chavez, Associate Vice President of Business Retention and Expansion for Edon. I am presenting the expansion application for Future Form Manufacturing LLC. Future Form Manufacturing is expanding its Sparks facility to 103,000 square feet to meet growing demand for precision sheet metal and engineered assemblies supporting data center and AI infrastructure. This project strengthens Nevada's position as a key advanced manufacturing hub and supports sustainable, energy efficient operations. Future Form will invest $10.7 million in capital equipment and hire 100 employees within 2 years at an average wage of $31.80 per hour, with a strong benefits package including medical coverage, PTO, bonuses, retirement plans, and tuition assistance. The company is committed to long-term operations in Nevada, prioritizing local hiring and workforce development. With Edon's full support, Future Form is requesting sales and use tax, modified business tax, and personal property tax abatements. They meet all incentive requirements, and state support will strongly influence their decision to expand in Northern Nevada. Joining me today is Ben Thomas, President of Future Form Manufacturing, who will share brief remarks and answer any questions.
Hello, and thank you so much for having us here. We're very excited to talk today. I think to understand where we're going in the near term, it makes sense to take a look back. Future Form has been in business for 54 years. 50 of those were family owned and operated, including second generation family owners. So about 3.5 years ago is when we came under some new ownership. Now that new ownership allowed us to be more aggressive with some of our strategies. That's sales and marketing, it's R&D, and those types of things. So in the industry, as the data center market booms, which is being fueled by AI, there is a big demand for sheet metal fabricators, specifically in Nevada. Nevada has a lot of land. There are good deals on a lot of that land. There are incentives to come here. And it is very advantageous that we're already here. So Future Form is sheet metal fabricator. So think about flatbed lasers, tube lasers, punches, bending equipment, robotic welding, manual welding, powder coating. They have an automated powder coating line, CNC machining, including 5-axis machining, which is newer state-of-the-art equipment. We also have assembly facility, engineering services, and newly 3D printing. So as we come online with all this new equipment, what this will allow us to do is to add to our capacity. We go to a lot of conferences in town. We were just recently at PTC, which is in Hawaii, which is a big data center conference. There are thousands of people there from hundreds of companies who are all really excited about building things right here in Nevada, specifically data centers. So not only do we already have a lot of the infrastructure in place to support this, but investing this $10 million will allow us to invest in more robotic and automated equipment. So not only are we going to add headcount to our employees, but we're also growing employees from within and promoting them. So a bend cell or a bend operator, for example, they're an expert with bending equipment. Now we're investing in automated equipment and we're teaching those operators how to program them. So not only are we just adding new employees, but we're also growing and promoting from within. With this new equipment, it will allow us to add a lot of capacity to actually support the demand that's coming into the industry.
Good stuff. All right, do we have any member questions of Mr. Thomas? No? All right, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Weldon Havens moves to approve the sales tax abatement, modified business tax abatement, personal property tax abatement for Future Form Manufacturing LLC.
We have a second.
Yolanda King, I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Did we get Pahrump Valley Chamber of Commerce? Did you say aye? Any against? Signify by nay. Hearing none, motion passes. Congratulations, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. All right, let's move on to 4D, which is page SVRNO property owner WINN LLC data center sales and use tax abatement, data center personal property tax abatement.
Tom Burns for the record, SV Reno Property Owner WINN LLC is here today being represented. It's going to be located in Story County and is represented by NNDA. Hayden Poinier is here to represent them.
Good afternoon, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Secretary of State, and board members. For the record, my name is Hayden Poinier and I serve as the Business Development Coordinator for Northern Nevada Development Authority. Thank you for considering SV Reno Data Center Tax Abatement application in Story County. This facility will employ 14 full-time staff members with an average wage of $54.29 per hour and represents a capital investment of $300 million. The company is seeking a 10-year data center tax abatement. NNDA fully supports this application and respectfully requests the board's approval. Joining us today from Las Vegas is Fishwash, who will provide any additional details about the company and answer any questions the board may have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. My name is Vishwas Shringi.
How do you spell that?
VISHWAS. First, I would like to thank Governor and the board members for giving us the opportunity to present the case. I'm representing SV Reno Property Owner LLC here. We plan to build 200 megawatt data center, which is going to be AI infra, state of art, new technology, very evolved cooling solution to control water uses, very good power uses efficiency for the energy efficient solution. And as was mentioned, the plan is to invest more than $300 million, create more than 14 jobs with an average compensation of $54. And we also support 100% benefit that's supported by the company. I would be happy to answer any questions, seek approval for the 10-year data center tax abatement.
For the record, Governor Vishwan, do you have a customer yet?
Yes, sir, we are in active conversation with the customer.
Okay.
And this tax abatement is very important because there is active interest to even expand beyond what the current requirement is.
And have your power needs been accommodated?
Yes, so we are in active conversation with NVE for 450 megawatt power. For the current project, there's 200 megawatt that is required. The delivery will start from 2027, goes all the way to 2030.
Okay, good. Any other questions? Can you explain your title? I mean, SBRNO, what is that?
That's our South Valley Reno property, because this property is in South Valley in the Story County.
I get it. All right, thank you. Any other questions of SV Reno? If none, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Jenny
Josh, presented.
Sarton, motion to approve.
Have a second.
Second, Sasha Stevens.
I like it. It's easy that way. All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 There we go. Any against signify by saying nay. Hearing none, motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for traveling down here to.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
All right. There's no further discussion on agenda item number 4. We'll move on to agenda item number 5 for possible action, workforce innovations for a new Nevada WINN fund program application for board approval. And it looks like you have one item, request for approval to enter into an agreement with the Great Basin College commercial driver's license, CDL, training expansion.
Ready? Is that a toss to me, Governor?
It is going, Elaine, to go.
What'd you say?
She asked it with a toss to her, and she said it, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I caught it. Good afternoon, Governor Lombardo, Lieutenant Governor Anthony, and esteemed members of the GOED Board. My name is Elaine Silverstone for the record, and I am GOED's Director of Workforce Development. It is my privilege to present to you today a Workforce Innovations for a New Nevada, also known as WINN application. This is my lucky number 13 program presenting to you in my tenure and the 46th program cumulatively for WINN overall. Yeah, we are doing great work together, building capacity for high quality, high wage jobs for all Nevadans. This example today is as exemplary as each previous WINN program this body has approved to date that supports business development and economic diversification, excuse me, by providing well-aligned and robust workforce training. Our NC partners at Great Basin College continue to build and deliver in concert with business and industry, representing the key sectors that are prioritized in our state plan. Today's example doesn't just support the transportation and logistics sector with the CDL training program expansion, it also lifts our key focus in natural resources, supporting a supply chain solution that touches on mining, critical minerals, among other material goods and services. Excuse me. In the application materials in section 5A of your binders and beginning on page 16, you will find excellent letters of support for this CDL training program expansion at GBC. This commitment from employer partners is a critical component of a winning WINN application to demonstrate industry-led workforce development opportunities. GBC is typically outstanding in this regard, as it is normal procedure for them that each program on campus, I lost my place, is developed with a technical skills committee comprised of regional industry professionals who help guide curriculum decisions. You can read about this in Pilot Thomas Logistics note for one example, representing their workforce need of 100 to 125 or haul drivers over the next year alone, with starting wages beginning from $30 hourly during training, along with benefits and ongoing professional development. Additional employer support comes from Ready Services and Caporo Trucking Mining Division, and with widespread support from municipal partners in the region for their hiring needs, including the City of Elko, the Elko County Highway Department, and Wells Propane. February is celebrated annually as Career and Technical Education Month, a public awareness campaign highlighting the value of CTE programs in preparing students for high-skill, in-demand careers like this GBC program is designed to do. On behalf of employer partners in the transportation and logistics sector, GBC is requesting $630,962 to support workforce development needs not aligned to real and current jobs in the region. Let's honor CTE Month by hearing now from leaders at NCHE, GBC, and employer partners in the region delivering workforce training that leads to meaningful careers for Nevadans. Happy to be partnered with Dr. Natalie Brown, Assistant Vice Chancellor of Workforce Development and Community Colleges.
Thank you so much, Elaine, and good afternoon, Governor Lombardo, Lieutenant Governor Anthony, esteemed members of the GOED board. For the record, Dr. Natalie Brown, Assistant Vice Chancellor for Workforce Development and Community Colleges with the Nevada System of Higher Ed. Thank you once again for your steadfast support of the WINN Fund and your ongoing investment in building a strong, responsive workforce pipeline. Your leadership and partnership continue to be instrumental in helping our institutions meet both immediate and long-term industry needs. Today, I'm here in support of a WINN application from Great Basin College to expand its CDL training programs in both Class A and Class B instruction across multiple regions of Nevada. A particular strength of this proposal, beyond meeting the in-demand sectors that Elaine mentioned, is its geographic reach. In addition to Elko, this investment will expand CDL training to Pahrump, Ely, and Winnemucca to ensure greater access for residents across GBC service areas. The letters of support show more than 100 jobs would be supported with average wages for CDL operators, like Elaine mentioned, ranging from $27, $30 an hour to start, and many more companies will undoubtedly benefit from this expansion. This is not a new program, it's a proven one. To date, 207 students have completed GBC CDL A course with 100% road test pass rate and a 99% employment rate within 6 months of graduation. This funding will allow the college to not only update outdated equipment, so we're training on the best of class vehicles that employers not only value but expect, and scale training capability to serve over 100 students annually, meeting both individual and employer needs across the state. This is exactly the kind of program the WINN Fund was designed to support. It addresses critical workforce shortages, serves rural, urban populations, builds on demonstrated success, and creates lasting pathways to high-wage, high-demand careers. Thank you again for your continued leadership and for considering this important proposal. Representatives from Great Basin College are here on the line and available to answer any specific questions about the program, and please do state your name for the record.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. My name is Nicole Walker. Governor Lombardo, thank you so much for welcoming GBC here. GOED board meeting members, excuse me, and so grateful to Elaine and Natalie for championing this great project. We are so excited about this. I am joined today by Gail Rappa, who is the Director of Continuing Education and our Commercial Driver's License Program. And hopefully we have some industry partners here that are joining us as well. We are excited about employing people in this field, but I have to admit that we are more excited about meeting the growing demand that we keep hearing about. As Dr. Brown noted, this is really a unique proposal because we're not just looking at expanding in Elko, Nevada. I'm in Winnemucca. Gail Rappa is in Elko, but also kind of making a circuit so we can hit those very rural communities who also need people trained. I just wanted to point out a couple of quick things to you. A recent analysis by the GOED group shows Nevada remains below the national average for licensed commercial drivers. We have an estimated shortfall of 4,500 positions. Nationally, that shortage is projected at 80,000 and up to 170,000. What's exacerbating that are new regulations that are removing what they call domiciled workers. So those are people who are not citizens and are no longer able to drive truck in this country. And so that really means that we have to bubble up within the state of Nevada to create a workforce. The labor market data that we have pulled, in fact, can I just tell you this? We were just doing a really anecdotal search on Glassdoor, on Indeed, on some of those sites. And I think I broke my computer trying to pull those numbers because there were so many jobs open in Nevada for CDLA and CDLB that it actually couldn't respond to me and how many jobs. It just said thousands. And of course, you know, as Elaine Silverstone said, this is a key industry sector in this state. And without this kind of transportation, then we can't support supply chains, we can't support commerce, vital regional industry centers. And for us, in that 100 miles between Elko and Winnemucca, which supports the largest gold producing area in the country and very stacked right at the top in the world, and also with the Thacker Pass right in my backyard. Very supportive of that as well. And so Gail's here, I'm here, we're happy to answer any questions. If you can't tell, I'm very excited about this and grateful just for the opportunity to share.
I can't tell. Governor Lombardo, Elaine, quick question. Is the system of higher education, do they provide matching funds for these programs?
Well, in this particular example, I'll tell you which page I'm referring to. While GBC is currently asking for 630,000, I'm rounding now, for this program, the greater project cost is higher, and they're contributing in that way with the first instructor of the program. Does that answer your question, Governor? Elaine, for the.
Yeah.
And I'll refer to page 13 to demonstrate that map.
So Dr. Brown, on page 14, just looking through your costs, and you mentioned that this was going to be stood up in 4 locations, correct?
Elko, Winnemucca, yes.
Right. So, but you're asking for 1 tractor and 2 trailers. So how does it get stood up that way? Seems like you need 4 tractors, 4 trailers, right?
Yes, I'm going to hand that to Nicole.
Yeah, for sure. Nicole Maher, for the record. So the CDLA program already exists in Elko, Nevada at GBC Elko. We're going to expand by adding a second instructor, which this proposal includes. And then that second, our first instructor, he'll continue to provide the great programming, the great training that he's doing. The second instructor will come in with CDLA training, CDLB training. I'll explain just a quick note about that in a minute. And then that second instructor will make a circuit going to Winnemucca, Ely, and Pahrump. Winnemucca at least twice a year, Ely and Pahrump at least 1 time a year. But those are conservative numbers. We're anticipating that we might be able to expand even more in that sense. I also just wanted to note on the CDLB side, just as a for instance, what's happening there. We have a company called Diversified Transportation. Right now, we're training 90 drivers, and they're driving buses. And what they're doing is they're transporting a large number of people to our gold mines. And then there's just a huge force of those here in Humboldt County. And they're traveling every single day back and forth from Thacker Pass, where Lithium America's site is.
Okay, so, thank you for that answer, but to build on the original question as far as matching funds, so, so this is an initial tranche of money. In other words, it's all given up on the front end, right? And then, so when the school or the customer incurs future costs, that's fully intended to be absorbed by the customer, correct?
Yes, Natalie Brown, for the record, the idea behind all of our WINN funded proposals is sustainability and really driving the growth with the need, the demand for these programs, and then reinvesting into continuing. And GBC in particular in this program does lay out a proposal to be utilizing the space for not only advertising, but how to then reinvest with advertising companies they're working with on the CDL training side. And so they have a particularly, I think, inventive way of creating some more of that sustainability down the line.
And how, okay, so can you elaborate on the creative ways? So originally the sustainment would occur through tuition. Is that the case?
Yeah, so as we have increased demand in these programs, the tuition and fees on the state supported side, that is, primarily where we're receiving a lot of the funding for this. And so to stand up.
If you just look through the costs and mechanical things, this is not like a CNC welder or anything. This has, you got mechanical repairs at 40,000. I can see you depleting that in short order. So I don't want the program to go away because you sold yourself short.
No, I understand that too.
Okay.
And if I may add,
Sure.
Elaine Silverstone, for the record, on page 8, expands on the sustainability plan and also the route that helps them get from Elko to Pahrump to Winnemucca and again.
I didn't have the opportunity to read that. All right, thank you.
Governor, can I add something to this conversation? Chris Sewell, for the record. We have a lot of individuals that come into our employee NV offices asking for training like this. And a lot of times there's not enough space and they can't get into the programs. This is a partnership with not only NSHE, but businesses that is going to open up the ability for our residents to get into the training program that we can, as Dieter, can help fund as well.
Good point. Thank you. Any other questions or concerns? Tom?
None for me, sir.
Oh, you have to let me.
No. Sorry.
I was gonna say something, but I'll keep, I'll deal with it later. So, all right, so this is an action item, so, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Stavros Anthony, move for approval.
Have a second.
You want to be king, I'll second it.
Why are you guys moving swords away? Why can't you just say it? Why do I have to wait for an answer? All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any against, nay? Hearing none, motion passed.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Congratulations. You know, I guess we've already passed the motion. This is just a general informational question. Is this, this type of training, is this traditional for system of higher education, CDL training?
Natalie Brown, for the record. Yes, in higher education, there has been CDL training programs at various different points in times and within NSHE. We have Western Nevada College has a CDL training program. It's quite a bit smaller than what GBC is proposing, but definitely something that is not uncommon, but needed. We definitely are excited and need to expand on this.
And facilities have room to do this kind of training? In other words, it takes a lot of space for a truck trainer, right?
Yes, it does.
All
So,
right. Well, congratulations. Good job, Dr. Brown.
thank you.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 6, Rural Regional Development Authority, RDA's, their report.
Sure.
Board members, this is Tom Burns for the record. About a week ago, you should have received a rural developmental report from GOED. We had a question from Secretary of State Cisco Aguilar as to the services and our activity in the rural parts of the state of Nevada. You know, we all of our business cards say that we are members of the governor's office of the state of Nevada, and we take that portion of it very seriously. And so we outlined the services that we provide to our rural friends on an ongoing basis. And it's fairly voluminous, so I'm not going to, and you had the opportunity to read it, so I'm not going to insult you by reading it back to you. But
Thank you.
but Sherry Davis, who's the rural development director, and I are here to see if you have any questions or comments that we can address for you.
I do have a question. Jenny Sarton.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'd like to know if it would be possible. I realize that NDAs may have been signed in some instances, but would it be possible in these regional reports, and particularly the rural areas that cover large territories, if we could at least know what the location on some of these sites or opportunities that they are pursuing or looking at?
Well, I'd have to defer to my legal counsel. I mean, the NDAs are enforced for a reason. We do communicate.
Right.
We do communicate with the RDAs as to what they are. I mean, they're part of our NDA process, and they're aware of the opportunities and work with us on a daily basis as those opportunities become available.
Well, I'm not asking for street addresses. I'm asking for the name of the town.
Okay.
Because when you're looking, for example, our local RDA covers 2 counties and multiple communities. So it would be nice to have a little bit more detail specific to at least the name of the town. Is that possible?
Can she receive that as a board member?
I'd have to ask Mr. Newton because I don't know what.
Okay, thank you. I'll wait for an answer at another time. Thank you.
Okay, but we'll,
No, he's right here. We can give you an answer right now.
Well, actually, I'd like for her to follow up with the notes on answering the question instead of just verbally. I'd like to take some time to look at it, but again, it's not any different than the name or the address appearing on the agenda. It's not giving away any information that already isn't published in another fashion.
We are certainly willing to accommodate you in within the scope of the law and the agreements we signed.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Any other questions? This is not an action item.
It is not.
Right. All right, we'll move on to item number 7, Executive Director update to record.
Thank you, Governor Tom Burns, for the record. Last month, area directors leading metropolitan locations report highlighted Nevada's strength across large and small markets. Las Vegas was ranked #1 in major metro markets, and Carson City was ranked #2 among small markets nationwide. LVGEA and EDON have partnered to launch the Nevada Economic Developers Association, which will support development professionals across the state and serve as a centralized source of training, certification, and professional development. In November, GOED led a trade mission to South Korea and Japan to advance partnerships and attract more business to Nevada. 4 MOUs were signed there involving entertainment, intergovernmental relation, foreign investment, and energy production. Churchill fell on economic development, and GOED recently met with Korean company BK Energy, which is seeking to establish both a manufacturing and green energy production in Churchill County, as well as Neographene Fertilizer, which will be meeting with Fallon in 2 weeks. During CES, we joined Next K Wave Entertainment and Tech Forum with K Entertainment Hub to strengthen our growing entertainment and technology collaboration with Korea following the trade mission. GOED also met with companies and organizations from other countries such as Germany, Poland, Lithuania, India, and Japan, which are looking to locate into the Nevada market. We did host a reception with 20 Korean central governmental ministries, national innovation and commercial agencies, research universities, and private sector partners. Those were folks that we had met on the trip and we're following up with them afterwards. In November, GOED secured $38.5 million in additional funding from the U.S. Treasury for the Nevada Small Business and Startups through the SSBCI program, also known as Nevada Board and Growth. GOED's Carson Heinz was appointed to Water Smart's Board of Directors along with Dr. Sean McKenna of DRI. This was one of the projects created by the Knowledge Fund, which Karsten manages. Nevada was invited to the American College Testing Board to anchor an inaugural regional summit at UNLV with GOED's Tammy Westergaard serving as the opening keynote speaker. The summit spotlighted labor market literacy as well as missing a link between education, workforce systems, and employer demand. In December, the Office of Entrepreneurship participated in Recognition Day at the Audi District in Sparks. The event recognized the future home of the world's largest market space innovation campus, which will have 232,000 feet of industrial innovation, robotics, public art, and much more at one location. In celebration of America's 250th birthday, the Office of Entrepreneurship did join the Right to Start's American the Entrepreneur and signed the Nevada Entrepreneur Commitment. Last month, on behalf of 10 other Apex accelerators throughout the western part of the United States, Nevada Apex led a regional event on strengthening the defense of the industrial base via American ingenuity at UNLV. Over 150 people attended. As an outgrowth of that event, Nevada Apex is leading a virtual innovation initiative webinars to continue the momentum of information sharing along this specific task. GOED's Van Sparrow is working with principals of Florida-based Nova Southeastern University to establish an anesthesiologist assistant program here in Southern Nevada. NSU has acquired property in Henderson and is preparing their inaugural class in 2026. Vance is also working with the Nevada Health Authority on the federal rural healthcare transformation program to establish a steering committee to inform others of healthcare policies and programs. The committee will primarily serve as primary governance and engagement for rural healthcare in Nevada. Main Street Nevada distributed $425,500 in grants and funding opportunities to 31 projects from 20 Main Street organizations across the street. They included a small business incubator, beautification, art, public art, signage, branding, banners, events, and more. And in April, the Community Block Grant team will be hosting its first ever summit in Fallon. It will include a full day of presentations from various funding agencies, with agencies providing an overview of their programs, valuable funding opportunities in communities. The National Association of Workforce Boards is hosting their annual forum in Las Vegas. This is the first time that this entity has broken from their normal meeting space in Washington, D.C. So it's quite an honor that they'll be here. Elaine Silverstone is a big part of the event, supporting our state's workforce boards and welcoming the event to Las Vegas. If you have an opportunity to attend, we would encourage that. Film Nevada recently approved 4 applications for film tax credit incentives. The productions included 2 feature films, 1 reality series, and 1 TV special. Together, the productions applied for $1.6 million in credits and will spend just short of $10 million in costs in Nevada. GOED's trade mission with South Korea did result in new connections in the film department, as the MOU was signed with MBC, which is one of Korea's leading broadcasters. The partnership seeks to promote K-contact production in Nevada, capturing an economic impact and audience of Korean and digital entertainment. And finally, we're excited to welcome to the film department Amira Abdullah. I think I just butchered that, and I apologize, Amira, to the film team as the incentive coordinator. She's been a great add. She was a young lady, grew up in Las Vegas, moved to New York to be in the arts, and then wanted to come home, and this was a great path for her to do that. That is my report.
Thank you. Do we have any questions of Director Burns?
Victor Wakefield, first, congratulations on these successes. I just wanted to know, what does the world's largest makerspace innovation campus mean?
For any of my friends from either the entrepreneurs space or EDON, available online, because they're going to know that better than I am. Dr. Wakefield, I may have to follow up.
That would be totally fine. I'm very curious. Yeah. Sounds exciting.
Hey, reference this anesthesiologist assistant
Yes.
program, which is fantastic.
Yep.
Moving that fast. Because we just passed that legislation And, so who is the overseer outside of business licensing? Is it the Board of Examiners, medical examiners, or the osteopathic board to inspect those schools? You know?
I don't know.
Chris, do you know?
The occupational licensing board does it?
Huh?
I don't know if they inspect the facility.
Right.
They would be responsible for the individual licensed doctors.
That's correct.
Is that correct? I guess I should have asked you. So there's no overarching regulatory thing for medical services?
It's got it, well, my guess would be, if it's not state, it'd be county. Or city, but I don't know.
You don't know
They'll need to be accredited by the AA organization nationally,
Okay.
but the licensing is actually by the boards, just like Chris said.
It's an interesting fact.
Yep.
All right, anything else? Director Byrne?
That's all I have, sir.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 8 for metrics. Mr. Sheets.
All right, thank you for having me. This is Steve Sheets for the record. Governor Lombardo, Lieutenant Governor Anthony, GOED Board, and Director Burns. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, can you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so yeah, this GOED report goes through December 31st, 2025. So the first couple of boxes, they really kind of wrap up the full calendar year. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and get into it. I wanted to start by saying, as I usually say, when we talk about assisted companies, these assisted companies are not just companies that receive abatements. Some of them do, but these are actually companies that either GOED or our regional development authorities have helped in some meaningful way to create jobs, improve wages, or bring capital investment to the state. So these first 5 boxes that you see on this front page are the full year. We assisted 64 companies in 2025. That's up from 61 in 2024. We assisted for the initial jobs. These are our initial 2-year jobs. Those were 2,178, down slightly from 2,207. And the build out jobs are 5-year jobs. These are kind of as operations ramp up. And those jobs are estimated to be 3,781. That's up from 2,800 in 2024. And I just wanted to note, you may recall that the first half of 2025 was pretty sluggish when it came to business development. There was a lot of uncertainty in the market. There was kind of a lot of wait and see attitude. So a lot of these numbers that you see are, relatively in line, slightly up, slightly down from last year, but a majority of them came in the last 2 quarters of the year. So pretty impressive in both regards, these initial jobs and build out jobs. 75% of them came in the latter half of the year. So moving over to the far right, the average wage paid by these assisted companies is going to be $35.87. That's up from last year, 2024, where it was $34.08, and it far exceeds the statewide average wage of $31.57. And then our assisted company investments, this capital investment that they bring to the state, again, 94% of the funds were in the latter half of this year. It's $2.2 billion. It is slightly down from 2024, but almost $1 billion of our 2024 number was a single company. That was Apple. So if you remove that from the equation, we far exceed what we did in 2024. And then the next 3 boxes, these are just for Q4. You can see that our retention meetings, we had 72. That's up from 43. This is kind of a new metric that we started to emphasize on because we wanted to really kind of bring more attention to our retention efforts. To know that the companies that we do actually get here continue to get support from us in some way. And then our site visits, we had 64 in the last quarter. That was up slightly from 54 in quarter 3 of 2025. And then the companies, so the assisted company WINNs that actually established or expanded their locations, brought jobs, wages, and investment, that was 18, down slightly from 21 last quarter, but just even with what we did in the same quarter, 2024. I'm going to jump down below that line for some of our divisional metrics. The emerging small business program is unchanged from before. That's measured in half years, and per the contracts with the municipalities or the agencies that fill this out, they have until the end of March to submit their reports. So on the next report, we'll see this updated. The Rural Community Development Block Grant, that is also an annual number. So that's largely unchanged from before. At Apex Accelerator, this averaged about $174,000 per contract. Now, I do have to say this is slightly dated just due to the timing of the quarter end. Their reporting doesn't really perfectly align with the quarter end. So we missed, the submission by a couple of days. So you'll see an updated report with more recent numbers on the next board meeting. And then finally, the Nevada Film Office for the last quarter of 2025, so quarter 2 of FY26, they assisted 87 productions, bringing in $16.4 million in production revenue. That's down just slightly from about 20 million, but for the whole calendar year of 2025, I'm jumping between fiscal year and calendar year, but for the full calendar year of 2025, the film office generated about $68.3 million in annual production revenue for the state. So we can jump to the next couple of pages. Now, this page that you're seeing on the screen now goes through a little bit more detail for the quarterly wins. However, what I'd like to do is direct you to the next page, which gives you a little bit more detail to those quarterly wins compared to the average wins, or I'm sorry, the year-to-date wins. As you can see, for the quarter, we had 18 wins that dedicated 626 jobs. That's the 2-year jobs. Again, that build-out number improves to about 1,184. The estimated average wage was $34.79, and then capital investment is $839.8 million. And that's up pretty significantly from quarter 3, which was $364 million. And then lastly, down here below that table, I like to highlight just some of our quarterly site visits. These RDAs, they report back to us with companies that have shown interest and have made a physical site visit to, either discuss, abatements or, some sort of assistance or maybe even scouting sites. That's primarily what this is for. And as you can see, with some of the rurals, we have a commercial and residential developer looking in West Wendover. We have some activity going on in the Churchill-Fallon economic development region with 2 data warehouse companies, multifamily housing development, and then geothermal development. The energy projects that are interested in that location are very interesting. And then with some of our more urbans, you can see we have more site visits, but they tend to fall in line with our advanced manufacturing, technology companies, data centers, alternative energies. And I also kind of want to point out that we are making inroads with Korea and Japan and some of these international relations that we have. So let me see. I'm just going to breeze through some of these. These are largely unchanged from before. However, I do like to draw your attention to that bottom graph, the bar graph at the bottom of this page, which just highlights that our return on investment for new tax revenues compared to tax dollars. For every tax dollar, or I'm sorry, for every dollar abated, we receive about $2.67 in new taxes. And then I'm just going to point out one last thing. I haven't talked about it in a while, but just touch on our employment statistics throughout the state. As of November, we had 1.57 million jobs remaining, and that's roughly flat from the year prior, but it represents about 131,000 jobs compared to our pre-pandemic high. So nationally, just compared, again, flat. Both Nevada is pretty flat, about 0.2% growth, whereas the nation as a whole is about 0.4% growth. And the unemployment rate remains, it's declined pretty significantly from its high in February of 5.8 down to about 5.2. So I'm going to go ahead and stop that there because I feel like I'm talking a lot, but feel free to ask any questions. I'm happy to answer them.
For the record, Governor, can any of the board members educate me on, and I can't recall, I might have been educated on this previously, but why are we using 7% on this graph?
Governor Tom Burns, for the record. In our statutes, it allows us to move off our standards of abatements if a county has more greater than 7%.
And does it, so we don't do any abatements for mineral and Esmeralda?
Currently not, although there are some fine prospects. Seriously, there are some fine prospects in Mineral County. And as you know, Ioneer is located in Esmeralda County, so there's a chance that will be picking up.
Okay, maybe I asked that question wrong. So it would be reverse. Will we be more beneficial if they're over 7%?
The standards are not quite as high if you're above 7%. Yes. Yep.
So that's not any. Fair.
Yep.
I understand. Thank you. All right. Do we have any other questions of Mr. Sheets?
Governor.
Yes, sir.
Thomas Anthony. So the 64 companies from last year, maybe I didn't see it in here, but can you break that down into which counties they're located and which RDAs are located?
Alex Backus for the record. We certainly can do that. I don't think we have it here in the report, but we can get it and send it to you.
Yeah, I'd like a copy of it. If anybody else wants. I'd like to see where these companies are, what counties they're going to, and which RDAs there are. So if you could get that to me, that'd be great.
Yeah, Tom Burns, for the record, we'll get that to the entire board. Thank you.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Since there are no further questions, Mr. Sheets will move to board member comments. Do we have any board member comments? Slide start. He just made.
I went to Cowboy Poetry last week. That's the one. Comment.
Did you buy a poster?
My wife bought it first. You can tell her about it.
You get on stage?
No stage. They stayed off the stage.
I have no comments today on agenda number 11. Is there any public comment there in Carson City?
No, Governor.
Do we have any here in Las Vegas? Yes, ma'am. Come forward.
Governor, Lieutenant Governor, members of the board, just Danielle Casey from Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance. As Director Burns mentioned, we had worked to organize the Nevada Economic Developers Association. So I just wanted to put a little tickle in everybody's ear that it looks like our first day of training in partnership between LBGEA and EDON will be April 7th. So we'll be circulating out an invitation for that. So anybody you know that wants to learn all about economic development, let them know. And we will also have Nevada on the stage leading the economic development profession with the International Economic Development Council, March 1st through 3rd. I am chairing the board of that fine organization. You'll be taking a board of directors of economic developers across the country on Hill visits that day, representing IEDC. I believe Governor Burns is going to be able to join me. Gosh, Director Burns. I was going to. Looking at you.
I got a month, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Good way to end it on a good note. Really joining me for some of it. So just wanted to elevate that we are elevating Nevada's presence and visibility nationally, and hopefully that will continue to impact things positively. Thank you for your time.
Daniel, how are you doing? You get situated?
I am.
Oh, good.
I am. I'm having a great time. And, we didn't have any abatements for you today, but I do believe that we have 5 in the queue. 3 that are already in application stage, 2 more that we expect to hit. And we're gearing up pretty heavily. And you think about me personally, I'm loving Centennial Hills, which is where I'm living. We're having a great time. And, but also focused on all the trade shows and outbound visits that we're working on. I've actually got 2 team members right now that are in Anaheim, California, visited 2 active clients today, checked out the medical device and manufacturing trade show to see what we could drum up there, and also visited a couple of site selectors. So we're going to be doing that in a much more consistent manner.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Michelle Hammond Allen, Director of Nevada 9580 RDA for the record, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Director Burns, and Board. I'm happy to be here today. The comments that I wanted to make are specifically tied back to that rural RDA report. I wanted to assure you, I have seen the most support and interaction from this GOED team, from the governor's office, from the lieutenant governor and his team, Dr. Sanchez, in rural Nevada, the most I've seen in my entire life, as far as state, getting out to my rural community, being concerned about rural issues, answering phone calls, finding answers. Under your administration, Governor Lombardo, I have seen an improvement I can't even describe, that we've never seen. So I wanted to make sure that I said that publicly at this board, and also to point out how hard the GOED team works to connect out in our rural areas. I've had numerous visits by numerous staff members, different staff members at different points, and they're fantastic. I know I could pick up the phone and have help with whatever I need. So thank you for that. In addition to that, I wanted to mention, you received that metric report. Steve works really hard on that. The team works really hard on that every meeting. But what you don't see is the work that we do that isn't centered around, incentives and these abatement packages. I work with numerous companies that don't get reported in those metrics. I work with numerous small business that doesn't show up on that report. So I assure you, we wear multiple hats in our rural communities. I do the job of probably 5 people in another office. And so it comes out in the narrative. So at any point in time, you're wondering, what the other RDAs are doing and what, I guess, positive effects we're making in our communities. It's in narrative. It doesn't come across all the time in those data numbers. We had a WINN application Elaine worked on and got approved for GBC. GBC is in my area too. I'm located in Winnemucca. I serve on the institutional advisory board for Great Basin College. I also work with Western Nevada College on a CDL program that we bring over and have in Winnemucca that GBC is going to fill a void. And so we're very connected into some of those other things like workforce development. So I just wanted to take the time to speak to that and let you know, our phones are there. Call and ask those questions. We welcome any questions from any of the board members if you want more specific examples. I have Thacker Pass in my backyard. You granted an abatement on that. Well, that project's not built yet. And so there's a lot of work going on in relation to that project that won't be captured in a report necessarily. But I tell you, it fills the schedule. So thank you for your time.
That was awesome. Thank you for those comments. Sheldon, do you want to pony off of that, or was that good enough?
No, sir. Thank you very much.
You want to sing a song for us? People may not know he's got a very good voice.
Yeah.
Might still be recovering.
Was he at the Cowboy Poetry.
I didn't see him there.
He left when you said that.
You don't know. All right, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So move Sasha Stevenson.
I don't think we need a second on that. Everybody in favor of leaving? Say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.